This is my place, my mission.
Welcome to Fort Atlas.
Tumble soldiers in line.
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible. Never forget the heroes of Fort Defiance. I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down the fort. When do I get to go out and prove my worth?
I want to visit Fort Defiance, but I'm not sure I can stand the sight.
Stay on your toes. The wasteland is merciless.
Find, protect, and preserve.
I'll show those raiders who's boss. We're building something big here. Don't get left behind.
Shin's certainly winning us friends here.
We'll make that.
I trust it wasn't a mistake to let you back here. Did somebody direct you to me? If so, I need to have a talk with them. Make it quick, please. To procure and preserve dangerous technologies from before the war, and defend humanity from itself. Since the world went to pieces, anyone and everyone has been using what they can find in the wasteland to their own ends, unrestricted. If things continue like this, humanity will never make it. The 1st Expeditionary Force was tasked with investigating several valued technological sites across the U.S., concluding at the ATLAS Observatory. From here, we would report back on the fate of the preceding Appalachian chapter, carrying on the Brotherhood's mission in their stead if need be. Or we would have done that report if we still had a working long-distance transmitter. We have raiders to thank for that one. That information is classified. There is, and my interpretation of our orders is that acquiring it should be our #1 priority. Paladin Ramani thinks otherwise. She has reevaluated the situation based on her own judgment. I am following her orders. Ask them if you must. Make it quick, please. As you can see, I'm in charge of the armory. I maintain and manage all of our equipment. I keep records of our stockpiles, distribute rations, and acquire resources as needed. Since we only have one Paladin here, I also lead various combat operations and support Paladin Ramani in any ways necessary. To be clear, my duties do not include human resources. Does this look like a social club to you? I have my duties to attend to. I would hope that you have yours.
Chance to learn from the mistakes of the past. We'll build something better for everyone.
Distraction is human. Discipline is the learned solution. Ad Victorium.
Myself and down the fort. When do I get to go? Request for the Brotherhood should be passed through Knight Shin. We're gonna have to bring the Crater Raiders under control eventually. Hopefully without unnecessary bloodshed. We could always use more initiates. Absolutely. We are here to help in any way that we can, civilian. The Brotherhood of Steel are your saviors, civilian. We are the guardians of human civilization. We bring order to the wasteland, something that it desperately needs. First and foremost, our mission is to restore society and preserve any technology that will assist us in that goal. In addition, we are currently investigating what happened to the previous Brotherhood members from Fort Defiance. It is important that we establish a new foothold here, which will allow us to aid the people of Appalachia. Sorry, civilian. That information is classified. Yes, there was a unit here led by Paladin Taggarty. We lost contact with the group shortly before their mission to attack the Scorched, and we are unsure of their fate. Regardless of what may have occurred, their selfless courage is commendable. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. My mission in life is to help others and restore order to the world. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals, in addition to the preservation of technology. I will be on the forefront of rebuilding society. I'm glad you're inspired by our mission. In order to fully accomplish our goals and establish a foothold here in Appalachia, we need to build up our ranks. If you're interested in recruitment, you can speak with my second, Knight Shin. Sure. What would you like to talk about? As the Paladin, I am the commander of this unit, and I'm here to establish a foothold for the Brotherhood of Steel. It is important that we restore society. And the steps that you have already made here in Appalachia are admirable. However, without the power of the Brotherhood, you will be unable to prevail. I am eager to lend that power. I suppose I can set aside a quick moment to chat. I'm originally from the California branch of the Brotherhood of Steel. I was posted near Mariposa before the bombs fell, and I learned that some members of the U.S. military had created an organization to help people. As a member of the U.S. military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me. High Elder Roger Maxson is our leader back in California, and is the person who sent us on our mission to Appalachia. Sure. I was posted near Mariposa before. As a member of the U.S. military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me. I was in the National Guard. Helping those who are less fortunate has always been a passion of mine. Being able to help protect my community was an experience I'll never forget. But now, my mission is to protect you and the other people of Appalachia. Sure. My mission in life is to help others and restore the world to what it once was. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals, in addition to the preservation of technology. The resources that the Brotherhood can provide will assist me in accomplishing my mission. I will be at the forefront of rebuilding society. Sounds good to me. It's a beautiful land, and the people are resourceful. We will do everything we can to support them. They've done well to build such capable communities on the broken bones of the old world. Foundation is charming, and I admire their workmanship. The people of Crater may be more complicated, but I refuse to judge their group based on our past encounters with raiders. Over time, I'd like to build a lasting relationship with both of these settlements. All of us have taken the inoculation, but thank you for inquiring. It means a lot to me that the people of Appalachia care for the well-being of others. Did I slip up again? Old habits die hard. I hope you'll be patient with us Westerners as we learn the local vernacular. Certainly. I'm here to listen. Stay safe.
Atlas stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
This, tighten that. Find, protect, and preserve.
They're only looking
Don't
to the
mind
future.
this clutter. Atlas is a
We
work
need
in
to
progress.
understand the past as well. We'll make the same mistakes going forward.
I'm meant to be a scribe when I'm put on patrol day and night.
How can I find time to study our history with all this maintenance work piling up?
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place, my mission.
May need another scribe just to keep the scrolls up to date.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the past as well, or we're gonna make the same mistakes moving forward.
World science solved a lot of problems back in the day. Look what else we would. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Learning, protection. I have everything I need here.
The old world has so much to teach us. Why didn't I see it?
The scorched plague. I've seen nothing like it. I wonder if I could get my hands on a sample.
The Scorched, the Raiders.
ATLAS Project Research Log 104. Lieutenant Marks and I have begun calibrating the ion beam accelerator We've hit a plateau at the 300 MeV threshold. Micro variations in the magnetic flux are disrupting the Betatron induction loop. The Lieutenant is working on a firmware update for the coil controller, and she said she'll have the wobble out by Monday. Assembly of the main device remains on schedule. The Air Force is nothing if not punctual. Colonel Oberlin is still pressing for the facility to be fully operational before the end of the year. Well, as much as I want to see my research in action, we need to proceed carefully. If this goes wrong, the results could be catastrophic. ATLAS has the potential to change the world. Or destroy it.
The weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go any faster.
ATLAS Project Research Log 29293. It's been 5 months. 5 months since that day. They abandoned me. The military never believed in ATLAS. It was just another weapon. When the nukes fell,
We're here
what
to
did it
protect the
matter?
people. They'll learn that in time.
ATLAS, this research. It's been my life's work. We need ATLAS. The world needs ATLAS. Now more than ever. I have to finish it. Everything I need, it's all here. I just need time. And hands. I've activated all the robots. They're security bots. They were never programmed for this, but it's all I've got. I can make it work. I've replaced the main lens, finished the particle analysis. I think the accelerator is finally stable. I'm so tired. But I have to keep going. Just a little more. It's almost done. Almost done.
The Scorched, the Raiders.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it wrought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
The Elders have so much to teach us. And I hope I get to meet them in person someday.
I don't suppose you know how to spot weld. Shouldn't you be waiting in the entryway?
I'm never gonna make a name for myself holding down the fort. When do I get to go out and prove my worth?
If you're gonna be walking around up here, at least grab a wrench and help me out.
Find, protect, and preserve.
We'll make ATLAS stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
Hello, civilian. I don't mean to be rude, but what exactly are you doing up here? Did he now? Knowing Knight Shin, I'm guessing that's not exactly how it went down. But if you're a prospective initiate, then I guess we're both in luck. Paladin Romani makes the call on new recruits, but the Knight and I have some influence. It just so happens I'm in need of someone to help me out on a little mission. If you're interested, I can bring you along and put you to work. Do a good job, and I'll send a recommendation your way. How about it? Well, aren't you the trusting one? I'm Brotherhood. I'll keep my promise. No need to worry about that.
Learning, protection. I have everything I need here.
Our new base is littered with old technology, but there's something in particular I want to investigate. It's down in the bowels of this place, a part of Atlas that we've cornered off. I'm not keen on going alone, so I'd like some backup.
Hope those kids we picked up are doing okay. What were their names again?
Recruits.
Started
Knight
with
Shin's
an M.
training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible.
Glad we can come to an agreement. Any questions before we start?
Or we'll make the same mistakes going forward.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day.
All right, fire away.
I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Ideally? Yes, actually. In practice? Not at all. We're supposed to be the lore keepers, preserving old technology for the betterment of today. Instead, I spend all my time soldering wires on busted comms equipment or tightening screws on tracking scanners. This investigation will be a breath of fresh air. It's what being a scribe should be about.
We'll make ATLAS stronger than Fort Defiance ever.
Can I do it? Yes. But it's not my life's calling. Believe it or not, I didn't choose to be a scribe. I was born into it. My parents chose this life for me. I've gotten used to it, but it isn't mine. Knight Shin would throw a fit if he heard just how unprofessional I was now. We should get back to business. Sorry. Business only.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it brought.
Ideally? Yes, actually. In practice? Not at all. We're supposed to be the lore keepers, preserving old technology for the betterment of today. Instead, I spend all my time soldering wires on busted comms equipment or tightening screws on tracking scanners. This investigation will be a breath of fresh air. It's what being a scribe should be about.
I can do more
Can
than
I do
just
it?
fight.
Yes,
But how do I show
but
them
it's not my life's calling.
put on patrol
But
daily?
we've already been over that. Let's talk about something else.
We need to understand the past as well. We'll make the same mistakes going forward.
Normally I would, but today you came along. We have a lot of capable initiates, but we could always use more. Handle yourself well, and I'll be happy to vouch for you. Not as a civilian. However, if Paladin Romani lets you join our ranks, then I might reconsider. Especially if you're a big help on this mission.
The elders have so much to teach us.
Sure. Ready to go?
Be a person someday.
I have everything I need.
Great. Unfortunately, I need to finish up a few things here.
Everything
Head downstairs and I'll meet you in a bit.
This is my place. My mission.
Staying safe out there. To think of everywhere we've been, this old place may hold the most promise. We are really fixing this place up, don't you think?
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this. We're gonna be invincible.
Let's talk. Maybe we'll both learn something.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place. My mission.
Find, protect, and preserve.
You mean to tell me these documents were just lying about in the wilds of Appalachia? If you find any more data like this, the Brotherhood can use it. Or at the very least, keep it safely filed away. There's another secure cache at Camp Venture you can use if you're on that side of the neighborhood. Otherwise, I will happily take this off your hands. Here to lend a hand?
The old world has so much to teach us. Why didn't I see it before?
If you're here to join up, you need to go through the proper channels.
Do more than just fight. But how do I show that I'm fit to be a scribe when I'm put on patrol day and night?
Good, you're here. So, how do you feel about reading comprehension? I was hoping to start out by sweeping the area for documentation left behind from before the war. Are you trying to get on my good side? Because that's how you get on my good side. But enough about that. I'd like to get started. Let's head downstairs and see what we can turn up. I wish we had the people to get this stuff up and running again. Finally, real scribe work! Just look at this place! So much tech in one spot. I can't wait to dig in. I'm glad you agreed to come along. All I get as a scribe is this stinky pistol. Hardly a match for any mutant critters that sneak in. We really need to get a team down here to get things cleaned up. Just look at this place! So much tech in one spot. I can't wait to dig in. Here's one. I'm glad you agreed to come along. All I get as a scribe is this stinky pistol. Hardly a match for any mutant critters that sneak in. This looks like what we need. This must be Dr. Hammond, Atlas's lead scientist. We recovered some of his holotapes and logs in our initial sweep of the area. This tech down here is his handiwork, and he couldn't give it up. Even after the war, I should make arrangements for a proper burial. Here's a document. I think this is good. Let's talk for a sec. That should be enough to start. Let me take a look. Atlas decommission report. So the project was in bad shape after all? Oh, I knew it sounded too good to be true. Fascinating. Wow. This is some seriously classified stuff that I just let you read, isn't it? I wasn't supposed to show you any of this. I guess you're right. There's only so much I can tell you, but I'll share what I feel is relevant. Atlas wasn't exactly an observatory before the war. That was just a front. The military conducted research here. Pretty advanced research. We're down here to investigate and see what's worth salvaging for the Brotherhood. We run a tight ship in the Brotherhood. Or, at least we're supposed to. All of the information we collect is distributed on a need-to-know basis. I was hoping we could get through this without you needing to know, but I guess that was too much to ask. Now, let's follow up on some leads from this report. I'd like to do a quick inspection of some key components that should be nearby. There's probably a terminal around here. If it's still running, we can do a diagnostics test. That will tell us about some of the less accessible hardware. The report mentioned that the machine's intake pump was under a lot of pressure. Let's find the release valve for that and give it a spin, see what happens. Finally, the lower core on this level should have a wiring box. Why don't we take a glance at that to get an idea of the electrical hookups? The diagnostics test can tell us the state of some key components that we won't be able to test manually. Keep an eye on the state of each component and we'll want to look into them after the initial check. The release valve is an emergency mechanism that can relieve pressure on the intake pipes if they come under stress. If all is well, we'll just be able to turn it and nothing out of the ordinary will happen. Think of the wires like the blood vessels of the machine. Without the electricity running through them, nothing's going to work. We just need to do a little checkup and see what condition they're in. Should be a simple inspection. You can have point, but I'll be looking over your shoulder the whole way. Take note of the details and we'll discuss how it goes after. Looks like we've got company! Ow! Get it together! Stay away! Here we go. Okay? I wish we had the people to get this stuff up and running again. That does it for the inspection. Let's talk. All right, let's go over the inspection results. The diagnostics check revealed some issues. Flux disruption in the induction loop, intake valves ruptured, and the ion focus? Misaligned. Problematic to say the least. Next, we have the release valve. That went... Well, what was your assessment? It certainly did. I'm going to mark that down as bad. Last but not least, the wiring. The wires were... I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Okay, well, sorry about the pop quiz. But in general, you're handling yourself well, so far. A fair point. We have a saying among the scribes. Through discourse, we gain strength. This wasn't discourse. It was a test. I can't blame you for being upset. I wanted to see if you would pay attention. And I have my answer now. Sorry if I angered you. I'm worried about what our inspection turned up. There are a few parts I'd like to extract and examine in my lab. There's the pressure gauge, the core processor, and the ion focus. They should be upstairs. There's a lot I can learn from examining them, if we can pull them out and get them back to my lab in decent condition. I want to take some notes on the core up there, so I'm going to leave the parts removal to you. Each extraction will be a little different, but in general, you'll want to use a light touch. I want the components in good condition, so please be careful. Any questions, or are you ready to get started? You saw what happened when we tested the release valve. I want to examine the stress on the gauge. That could tell us if all that built-up pressure was normal or an anomaly. Oh, and you may have to pry it off, but be careful about it when the time comes. The brain of the machine. It's the component that coordinates all of the others. It should be slotted into a terminal somewhere. May take a little technical know-how to extract, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. A very important and technical component. It helps force particles into a beam that the machine could fire to affect the weather. Somehow. Could take a bit of manual dexterity to pry loose without any damage. I'm counting on you. Let's see what you can do. I can trust you to extract those components we discussed without any trouble, right? No wonder the intake valves are under so much stress. With that design? Interesting. I can see now how the machine's underlying construction lends itself to these misalignments we read about. I'm leaving the extractions up to you. Use a light touch, all right? Interesting. I can see now how the machine's underlying construction lends itself to these misalignments we read about. I'm leaving the extractions up to you. Use a light touch, all right? Oh, I thought of one. Can you pick up the induction coil up there on the machine core?
What was that?
What is this thing? What is this thing? That doesn't sound good.
We can still be friends when this is all over. I'm a much better tactician than you. It's all in the brain, you see.
Your cooperation is rejected.
You could run. I'm trying to kill you, you know.
Whew. Whatever you did up there, the security system sure didn't like it. Thanks for the backup. I doubt I could have handled that on my own. Now that that's over with, let me take a look at what you've collected. The pressure gauge looks like it's in good condition. The core processor is pristine. Good work on that. The ion focus looks usable. Impressive. The induction coil seems fine. That's a relief. And what is this? This is... Is this ultrasight? Fascinating. This looks like some kind of compact power source. None of the documents, none of the terminals said anything about this. Did this power the whole machine? The fuel of the future. I'd heard the stories, but to think I could hold so much energy in my hands like this? Project Atlas may be beyond our power to repair, but we might have something here. I expected the machine to use a small reactor's worth of energy. They condensed that into a container I can hold in my hands. Oh, I could do a lot with this. You were a big help. I'm sure you have what it takes to be an initiate, and soon. Here, take this letter to Paladin Romani. She'll make the final call on letting you into the Brotherhood, but my wreck may tip the scales. I'm going back upstairs to take a look at these components. I need to catalog our findings. If nothing else, this ultrasight battery has piqued my interest. There's a lot I could learn from reverse engineering it. Oh, I'm giving you access to my private terminal, too. It has all the logs we recovered from when we moved in. After what we just went through, I think you deserve to know more about Project Atlas. Take a look if you get some free time. Thanks again for your help, and good luck with the Paladin.
Fort Atlas is in good hands. Knight Shin's trained us well.
Order, learning, protection.
Don't tell me there are more petitioners.
Everywhere, but all standard models. Surely there's something more to discover here.
Go home. Let us take care of things here.
I have my eye on you. The old world has so...
Order, learning, protection. I have everything I need here.
We'll make Atlas stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
Calibrate this, tighten that. Watch your step, it's a mess up here. I wonder what stories are hiding in the mountains out here.
The scorched of the raiders in the woods. If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
One day I'll make Knight. And I'll show those raiders who's boss.
The weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go any faster. I wonder what legacy I'll leave to the scrolls. I want to visit Fort Defiance, but I'm not sure I could stand the sight.
Greetings, civilian.
Raiders, ghouls, if anything tries to attack,
I made it, Scribe Takano. I wish you were here too.
The Elders have so much to teach us. I hope I'll get to meet them in person someday.
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the
Ultrasight
old and forge
country.
it anew.
Who knows what strange contraptions the old mining firms built here.
We'll make ATLAS
If you stumble on
stronger
any
than
new
Fort
tech,
Defiance
you know who
ever
to bring
was.
it to. What can I do for you? Or did you come to lend a hand?
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it brought.
order,
I'm glad we got
learning,
our tech close.
protection. I have everything I need here.
Well, you aren't an initiate yet, but I guess we can discuss it a bit, since you helped out and all.
The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking...
I'd like to reverse engineer it and make more, of course. With the amount of energy it can unleash, we could power all kinds of things for a very long time. Think of how far a vertibird could fly on ultrasight power. No, I don't think so. As much as I'd love to, we're too short-handed, and I just don't have that kind of expertise. We'll have to make do with learning what we can from the project for now.
Recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and...
Sure thing. What's the next topic? Lucky for you, I know all about us. We're an order dedicated to the preservation of science and technology. We find and catalog knowledge from before the bombs and keep it safe. You could say that. You could also say we have no right to keep knowledge to ourselves. That everyone deserves to learn. We get that from time to time. I can see the argument, but I believe in our mission. Nobody else does what we do. If not for us, all the old tech would just rust away. California, all the way across the continent. I've read that people used to fly that distance in a few hours, but the trek took us months. Maybe eventually we'll get flying again, but for now it's an arduous journey. We're here to help the people of Appalachia, and to catalog any technological discoveries we find. We set up Fort Atlas to that end. This old observatory has a wealth of technology to discover, and is a good staging point for future operations. We also want to learn the fate of the old Appalachian chapter of our order. MIA. Presumed KIA.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it brought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Yeah. To be honest, that's what I expected to hear. At least they died trying to make a difference. May they rest in peace. I knew some of them from a distance, but it's better if we don't get into that now.
One day, I'll make Knight. Then I'll show those raiders who's boss.
The Council of Elders, chief among them, High Elder Maxon, our founder. He proclaimed our mission and set us on the path we follow today. Our expedition leader is Paladin Romani. She's an aggressive and daring commander who's taken us through many trials. Okay, what do you want to know? Sure. What needs explaining? We're the heart of the Brotherhood's mission to find, catalog, and preserve pre-war technology. Though sometimes in practice, well, let's just say I spend a lot of time calibrating things. We record things. Histories, schematics, every bit of knowledge we can get our hands on. We collect it all, compile it, and keep it safe, like old scholars or monks. Our name harkens back to that ancient tradition, so that's why we use it. Well, first you'll have to join up, and we don't just take anyone. Then it depends on your aptitude. Not everyone has the mind or patience for scribe work. But ultimately, if you're driven and competent, I don't see why not. Sure, what do you want to talk about?
We'll make A.T.L.A.S stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
About me? What do you want to know? California, though, truth be told, I've spent most of my life in one bunker or another. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young, so I grew up in the Order. Really? How rare. You'll have to let me interview you sometime. I'd love to know more about the vaults. I have a lot to take care of while we get settled in here, but I'll get back to you on this. Don't worry. California, though. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young.
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this.
Yeah, it can be.
The old world has so much...
California, though, truth be told, I've spent most of my life in one bunker or another. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young. Well, I think you're right. Though getting to see the world, even as it is now, is worthwhile. California. My parents joined the Brotherhood when I was very young. Really? Well, I won't force you, but vault knowledge is special knowledge. We could help a lot of people with whatever's in your head. I do. Scribes are critical to the Brotherhood's mission. It's a mission I believe in. The work that comes my way can get tedious or overwhelming, but knowing I'm helping the greater good keeps me satisfied. We're a strong organization with a noble goal. Our methods draw some flack sometimes, but we're doing the right thing. Of course. What's the next topic? Lucky for you, I know all about us. We're an order dedicated to the preservation of science and technology. We find and catalog knowledge from before the bombs and keep it safe. That's one interpretation, certainly one I've heard before. But my journey here has only reinforced my faith in our mission. We're dedicated and organized. I trust us to do the right thing with the knowledge we gather. Okay, what do you want to know? I'll be here if you need anything.
The old world has so much to teach us. Why didn't I see it before?
One day I'll make Knight. And I'll show those raiders who's boss.
If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
The Elders have so much to teach us. I hope I'll get to meet them in person.
Grow up.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it brought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
The fight is just beginning. Stay disciplined.
How can I find time to study our history with all this maintenance work piling up?
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible.
Keep fighting out there. The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand.
Too
the
bad this
past as
observatory's
well.
so busted up.
Mistakes we
I'd love to look at the stars.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place. Mission.
I wonder what stories are hiding in the mountains out here.
Ad Victorium.
I can do more than just fight. But how do I show that I'm fit to be a scribe?
We're all links in the chain, bound in brotherhood.
Calibrate this, tighten that.
So much to teach us. I hope I get to meet them in person someday.
I made it, Scribe Takano. I wish you were here too.
Fort Atlas is in good hands. Knight Shin's trained us well. The settlers want to rebuild, but they're only looking to the future. We need to understand the past as well, or we're gonna make the same mistakes moving forward.
A weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go any faster.
We'll make ATLAS stronger than Fort Defiance ever was.
Old world science solved a lot of problems back in the day. But look what else it wrought. I'm glad we guard our tech closely.
Robots everywhere, but all standard models. Surely there's something more to discover here.
New recruits, Knight Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this, we're gonna be invincible.
Ultrasite country. Who knows what strange contraptions the old mining firms built here.
The Scorched, the Raiders, the Ghouls. If anything tries to attack, we'll be ready.
I want to visit Fort Defiance, but I'm not sure I could stand the sight.
Everything makes sense now. This is my place, my mission.
Too bad this observatory's so busted up. I'd love to look at the stars.
And I'll show you the Raiders who's boss.
The elders have so much to teach us. I hope I'll get to meet them in person someday.
Just a few more tweaks, and then it's back to working on that vertibird.
Go home. Let us take care of things here.
The scorched plague. I've seen nothing like it. I wonder if I could get my hands on a sample.
The fight is just beginning. Stay disciplined.
We have to cut ourselves free from America to rebuild America. Take the old...
Find, protect, preserve.
I wonder what legacy I'll leave to the scrolls. How can I find time to study our history with all this maintenance work piling up? We come all the way from California.
Greetings, civilian.
Here I am fixing broken pipes.